Hi everybody, this is Crystal. So today I'm going to show you how to make this shawl. It's actually quite easy. It's only a 2-row repeat. Now it is a very large, like keep you warm, wrap it around you in the fall and winter type of shawl. It's called it's the Peekaboo Shell shawl. I do actually have a blanket in this exact stitch, but a lot of people were asking for a shawl. So as you've seen in the picture, it is a triangle shawl and it is quite large. So this particular one is made with 5 different colors, which we'll go over that in just a minute. You can actually make it one solid colored color, or you can make it as many colors as you'd like. It's a simple 2-row repeat. So the shawl that you see in the picture measures it's pretty big, measures approximately 88 inches from one corner to the other. Yeah, it's a big one. You know what? Those big ones are pretty nice sometimes. And then from the top all the way down to the bottom point here is 42. So it's like 88 by 42. Of course, you do not have to make yours that size. You can make yours as big as you like. You would just keep repeating the 2-row repeat for the size of shawl that you'd like. All right, so like I said, it's very pretty. You can see the stitches if you've seen the Peekaboo blanket on my channel. It's similar to that, only done in a triangle form and not square. Very, very pretty, I think, anyways. You guys want to go ahead and get started? All right, let's do it. Okay, so the yarn used for this particular shawl here, this came from Hobby Yarns in Denmark. Now, you don't have to use this yarn. You can use any yarn that you want, any weight that you want, because no matter what weight you use, you can just continue repeating the repeat rows until you get the shawl as big as you want it to be. But I'll go ahead and tell you what I used. So this came from, like I said, Hobby Yarns in Denmark. This is what it is. It's a premium, 100% premium acrylic, a medium weight number 4. Now this came in a 5-pack. That's why there was 5 different colors used. So they were corresponding color, 5-pack color. All right. Remember, you don't have to use this. And there are 180 yards per ball. So the 3 colors that I used in order, this was number 1, color 02. The second color you see was 34. The second color you see was 33. The 4th color you see was 32. And the darkest color that you see was 31. So you can see at the looks of my shawl, it went from a light to dark, ending in dark. Now you do yours any way you want. Like I said, any colors you choose, make it completely solid. It's still going to be so beautiful. And this is such an easy pattern. You got this. And I cannot wait to see the color combinations that you guys come up with. Make every row a different color. That is going to be so pretty. Like I said, make it ombre, make it solid. No matter how you do it, it's going to be gorgeous. But in all total, if you want to follow along with me, you're going to need about 1,600 yards of a 4-weight yarn. That is if you want to make it the size that I did. Now we'll get these out of the way. And then the hook that I used is a size H, which is a 5mm crochet hook. Now that's what I used for the 4-weight yarn for this particular pattern. Now if you want to use a different yarn size, I would recommend that you use the hook size recommended on the yarn. If you're using a 4-weight like me, use the 5mm. But if you're using like a 3-weight or a 2-weight, use whatever hook it recommends on the yarn. That would be what I would recommend you do. But other than that, it's super easy. You guys want to go ahead and get started? You got this. Let's do it. All right, let's go. All right, so we're going to start out with a slip knot on our hook. And we're going to work a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to be slip stitching into the first stitch to form a ring. Now you can use a magic circle here if you'd like, but I'm going to start with the chain 4, and then I'm going to slip stitch into that first chain to form a ring. Now we're going to be working row 1 into the ring. So we're going to start off with a chain of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that chain 6 is, for this particular pattern, is acting as a tall triple with a chain 1. So a triple crochet plus a chain 1 is what this chain 6 represents here and for the rest of the pattern. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do 1 double crochet through the center of the ring, double, like that, and then we're going to do a chain of 3, 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to work another double crochet into the ring, like that, and then we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do 1 triple crochet through the center of the ring. So we're going to yarn over twice and go through the ring and do a triple crochet. 1, 2, 3. Now you can pull your tail to close up that circle a little bit, and later we can sew it together if we need to. So if you look, we got the chain 6, which is acting as a triple crochet with a chain 1, and we got a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, chain 1, and a triple. So that will end row 1. So now we're going to start row 2. We are going to chain 1 and turn our work. Now that chain 1 does not count as a stitch, all right? It doesn't count as anything. So we are going to single crochet right back into this very first stitch, just like that. And now we're going to do a shell. Now a shell for this particular design is 7 double crochets into the same stitch, and we're going to work it right here in this first chain 1 space. So we're just going to work 7 double crochets through this space. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now we're going to jump to the next chain 3 space, so right here, and we're going to work a single crochet, just 1 single crochet into the space, like that. And now we're going to jump to the next chain 1 space, which happens to be right here, because remember this chain 6 counts as a triple crochet and a chain 1. So we're going to jump into this last space here, and we're going to work 7 double crochets into this space. 7 double crochets is what the shell is, so we're working a shell. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's 7 into that last space. Now we're going to end row 2 by working a single crochet in the 5th chain of our chain 6, or somewhere around there. It doesn't have to be exact. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet. And now in row 2. So you can see that you have made 2 shells there at the end of row 2. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and start row 3. And we are going to chain 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to turn our work. And now we're going to work back into this very first stitch here, this very first one, and we're going to work a double crochet. Just like that. And now we're going to work a chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to skip this shell right here, and we're going to be working into this single crochet here, the one that's in the center. So just kind of jump over this entire shell, and in this single crochet right here, we're going to work a V-stitch. So a V-stitch for this particular pattern is a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. So we're going to go into that single crochet, and we're going to work a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. So that is the V-stitch for this particular pattern. But we're not done there. We're going to work a chain 3, and we're going to put another V-stitch into the same single crochet. So in that single crochet is a V-stitch, chain 3, and another V-stitch. So here's my other V-stitch, double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. Just like that. And that's going to kind of work as the point of the shawl for this particular row. Now we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to skip over all this shell here, these 7 double crochets. And we are going to do, in the last single crochet here that we made, we're going to work a double crochet into it, a chain of 1, and a triple crochet into the same stitch. So that last single crochet got a double crochet, chain 1, and triple crochet, and that will end row 3. So that's what it kind of looks like. All right, so now we're going to start row 4. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work. And we're going to work a single crochet right here back into the very first stitch, like that. And then we're going to work a shell into the next chain 1 space. So it's right here in between this triple and this double. We put this chain 1. We're going to work a shell, which is 7 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, and there's 4, 5, 6, and 7. So there's our shell into our first chain 1 space. Now what we're going to do is jump over here. So we got this chain from the previous row, and then two rows down we have a shell. We're going to single crochet into the middle of this shell, which would be the 4th double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go into it, and we're going to single crochet this chain down. So just kind of put it on top like that and do a single crochet. And you can see that just kind of locked that chain space into place, just like we wanted. And now what we're going to do is work 7 double crochets into the next chain 1 space, which is actually the V-stitch right here. So go ahead and work 7 double crochets into the chain 1 space of the next V-stitch. So we're working a shell here, There's 7. Chain 3 space right, or excuse me, the chain 3 space that's in between the V stitches. We're just going to put 1 single crochet right through the space. And then we're just going to kind of repeat on this side what we did on this side. So this V stitch here, the chain 1 space of it, we're going to work a shell right into it. So that's 7 double crochets. Just like that. And now we're here at the chain 5 space from the previous row. So again, we got to lock that down by single crocheting into the middle stitch of the shell below. So which would be the 4th double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go into that middle double crochet of that shell. Just kind of put the chain on top of it and single crochet. So now that chain is single crocheted and locked down like it should be. And now we're going to work 7 double crochets into this space here between the double crochet, the last double crochet and the chain 6. So we work a shell right here, just into the space. There's 7. And now we're going to end by putting a single crochet into the 5th chain of our beginning chain 6, or somewhere close to it. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't have to be exact, somewhere near it, and single crochet into it. And that will end row 4. Now, if you want, this is where we would change colors. If you want to change colors, you don't have to, but if you want to, I'm going to go ahead and do it because that's what I did. I'm just going to tie this color off and clip it. Remember, you can keep going with the solid, that's fine. Okay, and I'll bring in a new color here, and we will begin row 5. Now, row 5 and 6 are the repeat rows. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start on row 5. So we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to pull my yarn through here where we ended, and I'm just going to tie just a little knot here to 2 tails so it doesn't slip away. No one wants it slipping away. All right. Now what I'm going to do, remember, row 5 starts the repeat rows. It's a 2-row repeat. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start row 5 by chaining 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and turning our work. And now we're going to go back into this very first stitch here, right here where we started the yarn, new yarn, and double crochet, just like that. Now we're going to do a chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are going to skip this shell right here, and we're going to V-stitch, just 1 V-stitch into the next single crochet. So right here in between the shells, we are going to do the V-stitch, which is a double crochet, a chain 1, and a double crochet. And then we would repeat this, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we would keep repeating this V-stitching in every single crochet and chaining 5 until we get to the center single crochet. And that's where we're at right now. So we're going to skip the shell here, and in the center single crochet, it's always the same when you're repeating this row. It is into that single crochet, a V-stitch, chain 3, and another V-stitch into the same single. So that is our single, or that is our point of our shawl whenever we are repeating this row, just like that. Now we need to just match up the sides, do the same thing over here that we just did over here. So again, we would chain 5, skip the shell, V-stitch into the next single, and we would repeat that, chaining 5 and V-stitching into the next single until we made it here to the end here, which is the last single crochet of our row right after the shell. Now in this single crochet, we're going to end row 5. We need to chain 5 after this last V-stitch, and then into the last single crochet, we're going to put a double, chain 1, and a triple into that last single crochet. And that's how we do row 5. Now row 6 is the final row of the repeat. So we will chain 1 and turn our work. We are going to single crochet right here back into the very first stitch. Just like that. And then we're going to work a shell right here into the first chain 1 space, which is in between this triple and this double. So we're going to work your 7 double crochets. Just like that. And now we have our chain 5. You might notice this is similar to the rows before. So we need to lock this chain 5 down with a single crochet into the center of this shell that's 2 rows below. So it would be the 4th stitch over, 4th double crochet over. Go into that and make sure your chain is in it and single crochet, just like that. Okay, and then we will into the V-stitch right here, we're going to work a shell. So the next chain 1 space, we're going to work a shell. So 7 double crochets into the V-stitch, and again we need to lock this chain 5 down. So in the middle of the shell, 2 rows down, we single crochet and get that chain in it and lock it into the place. So this is what we would repeat for this row, is putting 7 double crochets into every V-stitch and then single crocheting that chain down in the middle stitch of the shell from 2 rows below. Now until we get to the point here. Here's the point. The 2 V-stitches in the chain 3 space. So in this V-stitch here, we're going to work 7 double crochets. And then in the chain 3 space here, 1 single crochet right through the space. And then we just need to repeat on this side what we did over here. So 7 double crochets into the V-stitch, or shell into the V-stitch. Like that. Then we need to lock this chain down by single crocheting in the center of the shell 2 rows below, and get that chain inside of it like that. Lock that down, and we would just keep repeating this. So in the next V-stitch here, we put the shell, which is 7 double crochets. And then we're going to lock this chain space down, just like before, in the middle stitch of the shell 2 rows below. And we repeat that until we get to the last chain 1 space here of the row, which is the double crochet in the chain 6. Remember that acts as a chain 1 space, so we will end by putting 7 double crochets, or a shell, into that chain space. And then we're going to single crochet into the 5th chain of our chain 6. If you get the 4th chain, that's fine too. 4th or the 5th, it really doesn't matter. Somewhere close to there. I know sometimes it's hard to tell. There we go. And that is the end of the repeat rows. So you would just repeat rows of 5 and 6. And for the shawl that you see in the picture, the colors were changed every 4 rows. So right here is 5 and 6, and then for rows 7 and 8, I would repeat rows 5 and 6 in the same color, and then I would change colors and repeat rows 5 and 6 twice in the next color. So every 4 rows you see for that particular design, the color was changed. Now you don't have to do that. You can change colors whenever you want. You can change colors every 2 rows, so you could change colors after this. Would be a nice spot to change colors if you want more color. This is a great scrap buster shawl, and it's very, very easy to do. Or you can make it solid. So from here on out, you're just repeating rows 5 and 6, and if you want to follow along with me, every 4 rows, or every time I repeated 5 and 6 twice, I changed colors. All right. And every time you do a row 6 repeat, which is the shell row, you will gain another shell on each side, or 2 shells all around. So you can see here we have 2 shells on this side, and then again the next one we have 3 shells on this side, and then we would repeat row 5, which is the V-stitch row, and then we would repeat row 6, and we would have 4 shells on this side. So you're always gaining 1 shell on each side every time you do a row 6 repeat. And you want to do this for however long you want your shawl to be. Now, when you look at the shawl that you see in the picture here, as I said, the colors, it was 5 colors, and they were changed every 4 rows. So rows 5 and 6 was repeated twice in each color, all the way down, until we got till the end here, started to run out of yarn. The last 2 rows was actually just 2 rows, so the color was repeated. Like here you can see it was repeated, the color was repeated for 4 rows, but these last 2 rows, the colors were each row were only repeated for 2 rows, because, you know, running out of yarn. But remember, you can change colors as often as you like. So it's, you know, it's quite a beautiful shawl. You make yours as big as you want it to be. As I mentioned, this is quite a large shawl. Super duper beautiful, man. I mean, it's like an extraordinarily beautiful, nice, warm fall winter wrap. And when you get done, you can go across the top with some single crochet there, just to clean up, you know, just evenly space out some single crochet across the top there with any color you'd like. And, you know, that will make it, you know, just clean up those edges. But that's it. That's all there is to it. That's quite a beauty, isn't it? You know, every once in a while, I like those big, big shawls. Really wrap around you. They're beautiful. So I hope that you enjoy my tutorial. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and check me out on Instagram and Facebook and all my other crochet tutorials. You know, we got well over 1,000. Link to those below in the description box. So I will see you guys on my next vid, okay? Whatever that might be. Take care.